Hello. I have never taken a public speaking class or anything like that. I don't know how to edit videos, but I feel like what I want to talk about is kind of pretty important for especially the younger generation of people who have been chronically online, who have constantly compared themselves to other people, especially on social media. And I just want to talk about how social media sucks the life out of your life. And um, from personal experience, I definitely have felt um, the effects of how a lot of these aesthetic, perfect videos make me feel, and I've seen how they make other people feel. I've seen it kind of feed especially like shopping addiction, and also just mental health in general, and just how it's made people struggle with dealing with real life, and how life is just not what you see online. A lot of the things that we see are like copy and pasted. A lot of them are like heavily edited. A lot of it is just showing what people really just want people to see in their lives. And I feel like we have all heard this over and over again about how social media is not real and blah, 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 blah. But still, I feel like it's kind of still really hard for you to fully understand that. I'm also saying me. I definitely struggle with seeing, I have talking points on this side, so I'm not getting too far ahead. That's why I keep looking over. But I definitely have struggled with comparing myself, and I've seen other people struggle with the same issues, and it just kind of, I feel like, perpetuates a cycle of like self-hatred, of not really realizing that what you have is enough. It might not be the new thing. It might not be, you might not have like all the fancy things. You might not have like a perfectly decorated space, and like that's something that I struggle with. But yes, so I just feel like we need more space online. We need more people to kind of just talk about how life is real, and how not everything is as it seems. And I feel like we need more people to show like what it really is like to live a normal life. Um, to be honest, my life is pretty mundane. Like I have a good life, and I can say that because I have definitely, I mean, within even the past few days, I've gone through like a really, 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 really deep depression. But that's also because I have started new medication and stuff like that for depression. I struggle with depression. I struggle with anxiety, but mostly depression, and also I also struggle a lot with emotional regulation, specifically with anger. Um, and I haven't really seen a lot of people talk about that. And I mean, I don't think it's like that weird. I don't think that it's that uncommon. Um, Maybe I'm just saying that to feel better about myself, but I definitely struggle with emotional regulation around anger. I just get explosively angry sometimes. If my needs aren't being met, whether that's on, I mean, most of the time when your needs aren't met, it's because maybe you need to express these things to like your partner. That's like a whole discussion. But yeah. So, I just kind of want to share kind of what I go through. I just want to also make a space where people feel comfortable also sharing those things, because then other people are going to be more, um, they're going to be exposed to that more and kind of start to see through all of the superficial and like super aesthetic, copy paste, super edited parts, super edited things that people post online to get like views and like money and like, all that stuff. And I feel like it's just really it really has whether or not they intend it, it has a negative impact on a lot of younger people. And I I see it in my own life. I've seen it in the people around me. I've seen it in my siblings. And it just makes me really sad. And also just being out and about and people don't really like smile at each other anymore. That's something that I really try and do, is just like make eye contact and smile at people, because like how many people nowadays are like walking around and not like looking down at their phone, or like have headphones on and are just like they're out in public but they're closed off to the world. And so it makes it really hard for people to connect in real life. And I feel like social media, like with the whole TikTok ban and that whole thing, a lot of younger people are being like, oh my God, like real life. I forgot you were there. Like, and they're like kind of starting to realize like, I don't have a community that I'm around. I don't have, I don't know how to I don't know how to build a community in real life. It's scary. It's intimidating. I won't say that it's not scary. Like nothing bad's gonna happen, but it's definitely intimidating because it's kind of like an old new frontier that people, maybe like my age and especially younger, haven't really been exposed to. So yes. Yes. Another thing that I see a lot of online is, this is like a whole topic, but relationships, romantic relationships, friendships, being around other people and like having to have like work relationship with people, and just not, people don't have a tolerance for, I don't know if that's the right way to say that. I feel like a lot of people don't really understand, especially younger people, don't understand what a real healthy relationship looks like. I definitely did not know what a real healthy relationship looked like, because online you see these couples, and like a lot of people are now coming out and being like, that was an awful relationship. But a lot of people don't look that deeply when they're like seeing these videos of guys going out, I'm gonna go out and make my girlfriend a bouquet, this glorious bouquet of flowers, and surprise her with, blah 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 blah. And that's something that I have definitely struggled with within my relationship with my boyfriend, is comparing myself and our relationship to people online, which is just, it's such a bad trap. Don't do it. Like, it's not real. Like, you are not seeing the arguments. You are not seeing the fights. You are not seeing how they actually treat each other behind closed doors. And that's so important. And when I haven't been in like a real, actual, good, healthy relationship until the one I'm in now, and I didn't realize it. I've been with him for 6 years almost, and just within the past like 3 years, I've like finally been like, okay, it's okay. Like, this is a whole big topic that I feel like I would like to talk about, from personal experience, and also just like kind of seeing how people online are, like, I've just seen people online like spread this toxic idea of being like, if he wanted to, he would. Like, dude, here's the thing. My boyfriend is in college and he is currently going, what he wants to do is become a doctor. That shit is hard. And something that I feel like I would like to connect with other people who have partners that are going through college and going through medical school, because it's lonely. It's lonely on both sides. Like, my boyfriend doesn't have a lot of time to spend time with me and do these romantic things and go on dates all the time. And that's something that I struggle with. I still struggle with it. It's hard. It's really hard. But the thing that matters is that when he can be present, he is. And when he can, like, when I do have a problem, he does make the time for me to, like, express the needs that I have. And also, I struggle with expressing things that I need. And that's also kind of where a lot of my anger comes out, because internally I'm like fighting with myself. Whole other topic as well. Like, there is just so much that people don't talk about online that I feel like needs to be talked about, because people, especially younger people, are seeing these perfect versions of people's lives. And I know that this has been said over and over again, but for real, like, these things just need to be talked about, because they need to be normal. Like, people need to understand that it's normal. It's normal to not always go on a date. And I'm not saying like, it's also a very important distinction between a healthy and a not healthy relationship, because, like, my boyfriend, even though he doesn't have the time to do these things, he wants to. And when we do have the time, we do these things. Yes, I'm not saying just because, that's a whole other topic that I just don't really want to get into right now. But yes. So, I feel like what I really want to do with posting at least this one video is be able to open up a space online for people who don't really have an in-person community to, like, really share their life and, like, really have friends who do, like, want to talk about things like this. Because there's a lot of people who have social anxiety, who have a really hard time, like, in person talking to people about their struggles. And that's something, I definitely struggle with that. I have really good friends, but I don't feel comfortable talking to them about these kinds of things. And that's something that I need to figure out. Like, I don't really know why. That's something that I struggle with right now, but that is definitely something I have the intention of figuring out eventually. But right now, I'm here right now, and that's something that I struggle with. And I feel like no matter where you are, you deserve to have space to relate to people and to see that real life isn't something that I learned is that most of the time you're not going to be happy and full of joy. And I feel like that's something that I have definitely had a really hard time with dealing with depression and just mental illness in general. But it's also been relieving, because I'm like, okay, like, me sitting here and feeling sad isn't bad. Like, it's not bad to feel these negative emotions. Again, a whole other topic to talk about. Like, there's so much to talk about. And I just want to talk about all these things. So, but for this video, I just am really just kind of, like, trying to lay out why I think this is important and, like, generally some topics that I am interested in talking about. Another thing that I want to talk about generally right now is how I struggle with depression and anxiety. And I kind of, like, talked about it with, like, relationship anxiety, with, like, comparing my relationship to ones I see online. That definitely has brought a lot of turmoil into my relationship in the past. It still sometimes does, but I am better at catching it now because I have recognized how it's harmful to both me and my boyfriend. Um, um, it also, like, dealing with insecurity. I just saw this video, like, about an hour ago on YouTube. I think only like 10 people had seen it. And it's just this girl talking about how, like, don't take life for granted. And she's like talking about how she's like walking around outside and she's like and she has a neighbor who is like really sick, and she was just talking about how, like, thinking about being in his position of like looking outside and seeing this young girl walking outside and being like, I wish that I could do that. And she was just basically saying, don't take your life for granted. And all of these saying things, I know sound cliche, but it's because it's true. And a lot of cliche things, silly little sayings are like cliche and like heavily said because there's truth to them. And I feel like I just want to stop saying like, oh, that's cliche, but it's true. Like it's just true. Yes. And I think the last thing that I really want to say about insecurity is I'm 26. I have definitely really struggled with comparing myself to other people who are around my age, comparing myself to people around my age because they're married, they're having babies, they have a career, they have a degree, they have all of these things, and all of those things are great. But I also have to remind myself, and I'm sure I'm not the only 20-something-year-old who feels this way, 30-something-year-old who feels this way, where you feel behind. Um, and something that my boyfriend has told me, because this is something I regularly struggle with, especially recently with, like, I don't have a degree. Like, I have the drive, and I'm just now at this age, like, kind of getting that ambition to really move my life forward in that way. But he reminds me that, like, success isn't linear, and also success isn't just in what other people can see. Cause I've definitely been like, I haven't done anything with my life to this point, and blah 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 blah, and my boyfriend has been like, dude, you had a really hard childhood. You within the past years have been working through a lot of emotional trauma and like emotional turmoil from like your family, and like dealing with just kind of like retraining myself, um what it's like to have normal relationships. And um yeah, and that also ties back into why I feel like I have a hard time with emotional regulation, because I didn't really have a lot of resources or people that I could really talk to about the anger that I was feeling inside as a young kid. And I was definitely told, like, being angry is bad and being sad is bad, and like young girls shouldn't act like that, and like, you know, all that fun stuff. But all this to say is I just really want to make a space online for people to really just like feel normal. Like, I just want to have discussions about real life things that people struggle with. And like, I'm not an expert on anything except I'm not an expert on anything, okay? And I was going to say except for in my own life, but I'm not. Like, I don't know what I'm doing half the time. I wake up and I'm like, what am I going to do today? Cuz I have no idea. And yeah, so I just really want to make a space online and hopefully eventually in person. That'd be really cool. To just kind of relate to other people and have discussions about anxiety. Like, literally, it's so broad because I just want to talk about really anything and everything. Like, I don't want to put myself in a box of things that I want to talk about. Other than just being a human being and struggling with the human condition and struggling with the struggles of being human. So that's what I want to say. That's what I am making this video for, and I hope that other people are interested in this as well, and I hope that the people that are interested in this find this, and we can start to connect with each other. And like, I feel like making this space will also be able to have other people who are interested in it also talk to each other. And I think that's just like really cool. And I feel like that's what the internet and social media um, should be used for. So, yeah. Anyways, bye.